So I'm just prepping this head to put an afro on him, sort of nice shaped up afro. What I do wanna, so I've got the clay here, milliput, which I'm gonna mix together in a bit. What I wanna do is put an afro comb in his afro. So I wanna make an afro comb. So I might use some of these teeth on one of the combs I've got, and I may use this wrestling belt for the handle, or I may use this. Basically, I'll put something together to make an afro comb which you could use an accessory to either have in his hand or to stick in the afro. So yeah, I'm gonna make that first and then get onto the afro after. So yep. So I'm going to use this as an afro comb. I'm going to flatten it down with a Dremel and then kind of Dremel it into the shape and then get some sort of teeth for the bristle. So yeah, this will get turned into a comb. Let's see what happens. So this is kind of the handle shape that I wanted, which I kind of used from that knife that I previously had, which I've kind of sanded down. I was going to just do a fake, as in just paint on the teeth of the comb, but in regards to what I want to do with the afro, it needs to be realistic and like hard plastic or metal. So I'm going to use 5 of these. I'm going to cut them to shape, glue them on. You'll see what I mean when I finish. So I've got my milliput here, 2 equal sizes. Going to mix it together into just one consistency, one smooth color. I've got a little afro comb that I made here. Still need to kind of neaten it up and put some logo or something on it to make it look a bit more realistic. I want it to have the metal teeth. So once I've sculpted the afro on the hair and shaped it up, I'm going to then obviously put lots of holes in it to mimic the texture of afro hair, and then stick the afro comb in the hair and then take it out. Once it's hardened, I should be able to just stick the afro comb right back in the same holes. So it's like an accessory that can be in the afro or held in the hand, and you wouldn't tell the difference because there's holes all over the afro. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but once I've done it, you'll kind of see what I mean. But yeah, stay tuned. With the milliput, what I usually do is once I've mixed it together, I roll it into like a long worm type shape. Once I've done that, I then kind of then just twist it, put it into a ball, and do the same process again. Roll it into a long snake, twist it like a plait, put it back into a ball, and keep doing that for 5 minutes until it's really consistently mixed together. Once I've done that, I'll leave it for say 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, because as you can see, it kind of comes off on your hands, and if you kind of mold it straight away, it gets a bit messy. So you just need it to harden just a little bit, just a tad bit, and then you can, it's easier to work with. So yeah. So this has been standing for 10 minutes, so it should be easy to use now. I don't put it on in one go. I usually break off bits and stick it to the head, put it in the places that I want it to, and then use my fingers to kind of form the afro shape itself. In regards to giving a sharp, defined shape up, I'll be using this Stanley knife, and I'll be literally cutting it away, getting it shaped up and defined nicely. Once that's done, I'll use these 3 different tools to kind of give the texture of the afro. Sort of 3 different this one here, the bigger one, then the middle one, then this. So I'll start with this, making little indentations, then use this one, and then this afterwards. Once you've used all 3 of those, it should kind of give it that afro texture. So yeah, I'll show you in a sec. So as you can see here, I'm literally just sticking bits of the clay on the head. It could be messy, it doesn't matter, you know, it's just getting the general shape. And how, obviously it's up to you how you want it, whether you want it to be taller or wider or swept to the side, or however you want it. It's entirely up to you. I want this his to be kind of quite symmetrically round. He's got a broad head. So yeah, I'm thinking of not making it too too big, basically, not too big, just enough for the Afro comb to go in. And yeah, so that kind of looks not too bad. Got a little bit left, so put this on top here. So yeah, I'm going to just shape it with my hands until I get the desired shape I want. Once I've done that, I'm going to then cut away here, sort of a down there, and then a nice C shape here so it joins onto the beard. Sort the back out, and yeah, I'll show you when that's all done, and we'll start doing the texture afterwards. So I've kind of got the shape I want-ish. I want it to be obviously a little bit thinner as it gets down to the sides of his sort of ears and the back of his neck. So what I'm doing here is just trying to shape it up. So I kind of put a line maybe about here, and then maybe about there, and about there, and then take that out. Like I said, this could be messy, doesn't matter. Once it's all done, it'll be all proper neat. But for now, you just want to get the hairline and here and cut around here to kind of join up with the beard. And then sort of cut the sides. It's like, you know, a proper haircut. You're just basically shaping it up, making it nice and neat. Yeah, once you've got the desired design you want, you could then start the texture process. So yeah, I'm going to keep working at this, and I'll come back to you once I've got the hairline all shaped up. But that's generally how I do it with this tool here. So I've got the basic shape that I want. So I've sort of shaped up the front, got the sides to kind of smooth into the beard, kind of cut the back here, and got the general shape that I want. Still looks quite messy, but what the next stage is for me to texture the hair. Once the hair's textured, I will prime the whole head and then paint it bit by bit. So yeah, so this is the shape. So the next part is just me starting the texture. So I'll show you that in a sec. So to start the hair texture, I start with the biggest tool and work my way down to the smallest. So we'll start off with this one, and we're just gonna literally make these indentations all over. So you want to cover every part of it. Once it's fully covered, you then move down to this stick, same again, you'll start doing indentations, and then the smaller one. And once you've covered the hair with all three, it should resemble the texture, well, similar to the textures of Afro hair. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on doing this, and I'll let you have a look once it's it's finished. So this is all the texture I've done with the three different tools. And here's a little Afro comb which I've stuck in there for a bit, and I can take that out. Once it's hardened, I should be able to stick it straight back in the same holes or slots. So yeah, that's that. Just going to spray it and prime it once it's dried, and give it a good paint, and that should be all done. So yeah.